This time on Redneck Ramblings, we're going to talk about Peanut Butter Milk Stout by Left Hand Brewing Company. Stay tuned. Welcome to Redneck Ramblings. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're actually going to take a look at two different beers. These beers are different, but they're technically the same. Let me explain. This one is their Left Hand Brewing Company's Peanut Butter Milk Stout. It's actually a chocolate peanut butter, but they don't add chocolate to it. They're using a chocolate malts to get that chocolate essence and chocolate flavor and the aroma of chocolate. But they do add peanuts to it, not peanut butter. They add peanuts to it, which is so they're calling it a peanut butter milk stout. This one is essentially the same thing. It's a peanut butter milk stout, same ingredients as this guy, but this one is carbonated with nitrogen, hence a nitro. So normally a beer is carbonated with CO2, carbon dioxide, and that is a normal byproduct of the fermentation process. Yeast eats sugar and it creates CO2. So what these breweries do is they'll capture that CO2 and they use that CO2 to carbonate their beers when they bottle it or can it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to compare these side by side. Essentially what the nitrogen does to you, nitrogen is kind of an interesting compound in that it starts its life as a liquid, and when you compress it, it turns into a gas. And yes, I'm intentionally doing a strong pour in this because I want to show you the difference in the heads on these two beers. I'm not doing a real fast pour, I'm just doing kind of a slow pour. I don't want to make a big mess or anything, but I do want to show you the difference in these. You can see a beautiful foaming here as that CO2 is escaping from the beer. Nice head, by the way. This Left Hand Brewing Company, if you give it a good pour, it does have a nice head. If you give it a nice gentle pour, yeah, you won't get much head at all, but let's see what the nitro version of this beer does. And what we're seeing right now is you'll notice that the head is not necessarily as thick, but look at the bubbles inside the beer. Look at that. Look at that just cascade of little bubbles going down in the beer. That's your nitrogen. It's not necessarily escaping from the beer like the CO2 does. The CO2 rushed to the surface. So right now we have pretty much a black beer with a really nice head on it. With the nitro beer, not as much head, but we still have bubbles inside that beer. And you'll also notice it's a lot more dense foam as opposed to the normal, what's produced by CO2. So a couple things that the nitrogen does to the beer is it gives it a little bit of a different mouthfeel, because you can actually, because that nitrogen does not rapidly escape from the beer, you get a little bit of a creamier texture from a nitro beer. So let's compare these side by side. And by the way, just full openness here, I have had both of these beers before. Neither one of these are new to me, and I like both of them. So let's try both of these. Mostly head on that. Oh man, the chocolate, oh lordy. The chocolate flavor in this is fantastic. Oh yeah. And I'm not taking real big gulps of this because I actually want to taste the beer. I don't want to just flood my mouth, my taste buds with liquid and overrun them and have to swallow. I want to actually taste it. Drink a little water. I'll cleanse my palate here. And let's try the second one. So you'll still note that natural beer still got a nice head on it. And if you look at that little line right there, I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, you can still see activity right in here. All right, let's try this one. First off, the aroma, fantastic. Just like the other one. It smells the same. Oh, absolutely much creamier. Absolutely. A lot creamier beer. It has a, I don't know how to describe it other than creamier. It's a thicker presence in your mouth. Very good. Very good explosion on the taste buds there. But for flavor, to me, and this is just to me, everyone's got their own opinion, the normal CO2 beer produces a little more flavor. I get a little more of a chocolate note off of this one than I do off of the Nitro beer. But like I said, the aroma, man, that's fantastic. Flavors on these two, almost identical. But like I said, Nitro beer, you do get a much creamier, and it's you can see that in the head. See how creamy that head looks, and that carries on through the body of the beer. So when you take a sip of this, you can actually feel the nitro in it. You can feel those little bubbles in your mouth. It's a very, very nice experience. Fantastic beer. I highly recommend either one of these. These are both great beers. They're the same price. Neither one of them are extremely expensive. They are more expensive than buying your Busch or Budweiser or Coors or whatever. But for a milk stout, fantastic beers. Not a bad price at all. We're looking at about $10 for a 6-pack, something like that. And that's probably a little bit on the high side depending where you're at. So ABV on it is 6.2% on both. IBUs is 25. Color on them is described as black. I think they're pretty accurate there. I'm not going to shine a light on it. Let's go over the malts that they use, because this is pretty interesting. And like I said, the formula is the same for the ingredients are the same. What I do not know for an absolute fact is that they use the same quantities per beer, but I'm assuming they did. I mean, they taste pretty much identical. On their malts, they're using two-row, which is a traditional malt. They're using crystal malt, a chocolate malt, which is one that I'm going to experiment with here real shortly. I'm using a Munich, a rolled oat, a flaked barley, and a roasted barley. And remember, anytime that you roast those grains to create those malts, you get those toasted, nutty, caramel type flavors and aromas. And those chocolate malts, I am just infatuated with chocolate malts. Man, they're just fantastic what some of these small breweries can do with nothing more than grains. So that's it. High recommend on both of these. If I had to pick which one's better, I honestly don't know that I could. I'm not going to say that the creamier texture makes this one better than that one, because that one is an absolutely fantastic beer. But if you've never had a Nitro beer, you owe it to yourself to try one. If you want to try this one, it'd be a great choice. Great choice. Kind of a plain bottle, I guess. You get a glimpse of the back side here. But yeah, that's it. I give it 2 thumbs up just because I only got 2 thumbs. If I had 5 thumbs, I'd give it 5 thumbs up. Fantastic beer. If you've never tried either one of them, try it. If you've never tried a Nitro beer, even if you don't try this Nitro beer, try one. It's absolutely worth your time. It's just a fantastic drinking experience. But like I said, I don't think that it makes the beer that much better. This right here is a very, very drinkable beer. I think I still got some left in that one. Very drinkable beer. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, Be sure and click that like button. If you're not subscribed, click that subscribe button. Thank you, and have a good night.